In the heart of Lima, where the sun meets the Andean breeze, a young woman named Rose was destined to shine like no other. From humble beginnings, she rose to become a beacon of purity, devotion, and unshakable faith. Saint Rose of Lima's life was a journey of grace and sacrifice, a story woven with acts of profound love and courage. In a world often shadowed by struggle and hardship, Rose's luminous spirit broke through, illuminating the path for generations of believers. Her unwavering commitment to God, her compassion for the poor, and her deep connection to the divine make her an eternal symbol of holiness. Join us now as we uncover the life, trials, and miracles of Saint Rose of Lima, a woman whose heart burned with divine fire and whose legacy continues to inspire faith across continents. Chapter 1. A Light in Lima. In the bustling city of Lima, amidst the vibrant streets and the clash of cultures, a child was born destined for greatness. Rose was born into a humble family in 1586, in a city still young and shaping its identity under the shadow of Spanish colonial rule. From the very beginning, there was something extraordinary about her, a quiet strength, a spark of holiness that would grow brighter with each passing year. As a young girl, Rose was drawn to solitude and prayer, often retreating from the world to find peace in her small room, which became a sanctuary of divine whispers and sacred dreams. Her devotion was unmatched. While other children played, she sought the company of saints and angels through prayer and contemplation. Her mother, Isabel, noticed early on that Rose was no ordinary child. Despite the hardships of their life, Rose displayed a serene joy that seemed to come from a deeper source. She chose simplicity over luxury, humility over pride, and gave freely to those in need, even when she had very little herself. But Rose's path was not without challenges. Living in a society that valued wealth and status, her commitment to a life of poverty and chastity often puzzled and even troubled those around her. Yet, she stood firm, embracing the values of the Dominican tertiary order she later joined, dedicating herself fully to God's service. Her story begins with this radiant light in the heart of Lima, a young girl who would grow to become a saint, a symbol of compassion and spiritual strength, whose life touched countless souls and whose legacy still burns brightly today. Chapter 2. The Path of Devotion. As Rose grew, her dedication to God deepened beyond what most could comprehend. From an early age, she practiced severe penances, fasting, wearing a heavy crown of thorns, and embracing a life of solitude. Her room became a little chapel, filled with simple but sacred objects that reminded her of Christ's suffering and love. Her family, while supportive, sometimes worried for her health. They did not understand why a young girl would willingly choose such hardship. Yet, Rose was guided by a divine light she felt inside, a calling stronger than any earthly desire. She believed that through sacrifice and prayer, she could bring healing not only to herself but to her city and its people. Rose's humility was profound. She avoided recognition, shunning worldly praise and fame. Despite her noble spirit, she lived among the poor, serving those who suffered from sickness and poverty. Many sought her out for comfort, amazed at the peace and grace she radiated. She joined the Third Order of St. Dominic, a lay religious community that allowed her to live a consecrated life without entering a convent. Through this path, Rose balanced her spiritual commitments with the needs of her family and neighbors. Her nights were often spent in prayer, and her days filled with acts of kindness, feeding the hungry, nursing the sick, and offering hope to the forgotten. Rose's life was a testament to the power of faith and love in the face of hardship. Her devotion soon caught the attention of many in Lima, and whispers of her holiness began to spread. But Rose remained humble, focused only on her mission, to serve God through love, sacrifice, and unwavering faith. Chapter 3. Trials and Triumphs. Rose's path was far from easy. Her intense devotion and acts of penance drew both admiration and criticism. Some neighbors whispered that her extreme austerities were excessive, even dangerous. Yet, Rose remained steadfast, her faith unshaken by human judgment. At times, the physical toll was harsh. Her body grew frail, marked by scars from her chosen mortifications. But it was her spirit that shone brightest, resilient and radiant, a beacon of hope for those around her. Rose's inner life was marked by profound mystical experiences. She often spoke of visions and encounters with angels, which strengthened her resolve. These moments of divine connection fueled her perseverance, reminding her that her suffering had a higher purpose. Despite the challenges, Rose never wavered in her compassion. She cared deeply for the sick and the poor, walking through Lima's dusty streets to bring comfort and aid. Her presence was a balm to many souls lost in despair. Her family, initially puzzled by her choices, gradually came to respect her calling. They saw how her sacrifices transformed not only her life, but also the lives of those she touched. Rose became a living example of holiness in everyday life, a saint in the midst of the city. As word of her sanctity spread, pilgrims began to visit her modest home, seeking blessings and prayers. Yet, Rose remained humble, always redirecting praise to God alone. Through trials and triumphs, her faith endured, shining like a light in the darkness. Rose of Lima's story was far from over. Her legacy was just beginning to blossom. Chapter 4. The Enduring Light. As Rose's health declined, her spirit grew ever brighter. Even in her final days, she radiated a peaceful strength that inspired all who cared for her. Her humility never faded. She welcomed death as a reunion with the divine love that had sustained her life. Her passing was mourned deeply throughout Lima and beyond. Crowds gathered to honor the humble woman who had become a symbol of purity, compassion, and unwavering faith. Many testified to the miracles they believed had been granted through her intercession. Rose's canonization was a testament to her profound impact on the Church and the world. As the first saint of the Americas, she bridged continents and cultures, embodying the universal call to holiness. Her life teaches us that true sanctity is found not in grandeur, but in simple, faithful acts of love and sacrifice. Rose's example calls each of us to shine our own light, no matter how small, in the world around us. Her legacy endures, a flame of hope, devotion, and courage that continues to inspire hearts across generations. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the life of Saint Rose of Lima. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe and stay tuned for more inspiring tales of faith and courage.